Hello and welcome. This week's video is about my race from round 5 of the London League at East Bysshe. So this is a sighting lap. I'll quickly take you through it. I got on the wheel of this guy called Ryan, who's pretty good. So I thought I'll follow him and see if I can pick up some of his lines. The other thing I want to say is it rained really heavily on the way up and it's been raining all week, so this was quite slippery and boggy. It did dry out through the day, but it was quite slippery, so full mud tyres were the order of the day. So here we go into the woods, which is a tricky part, where I was hoping to be able to keep up with him and learn some lines. Unfortunately, as you can see, I started cocking things up already, and I'm like, Jesus, where's Ryan gone? Where is he? He's miles in front of me. Yeah, I had to get the binoculars out like this, and I was like, where is he actually? Getting the binoculars out. Ryan, where are you? No, I can't see you. I have no idea what way to go around here, and I just made a complete hash of it. So yeah, anyway, I needed a calendar. By the end of the woods, I needed a calendar to measure the distance he dropped us. So this part coming out of the woods was very boggy, and it looks like I've lost the ability to be able to steer the bike, so I'm just going straight on for the tape. But during the race I did manage to hold a tighter line and it was a little bit firmer. This is the next section of wooded section. Again, I've speeded it up a bit, the footage, just so we can see how we go through here. Where is it? Slows down here, I think. Yeah, that's it. And then down this slope, and again it was bumpy, rutty, horrible. I ended up just running this during the race. I've not shown any of the footage or much of the footage of the grassy sections because there's some quite good footage of that from the race, so you'll see that shortly. But if you do want to see a full sighting lap, there's a guy called Ferdy Parsons, one of the young juniors, has put up a really good POV, I think is the correct term, video of a whole sighting lap, and he takes it a lot better than I have, so check it out. I'll put a link in the description below for his video. Go and check it out. Yeah, here we go on the grassy bit. Yeah, right, this was the only other point of worth noting was these steps. There's a kid in our race, one of the juniors, he actually rode up there, believe it or not. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any footage of him doing that. This is warming up now on the rollers, and there's my dad cleaning my spare bike for me. Conditions like this is where cross becomes a proper team sport. So you need some helpers really to help you out, and also if you want to do bike changes during a race. I think I was saying on the rollers that I was moaning, having a right paddy about the course through the woods and how difficult I found it. Then it's off to the race.
Well, what's happened? You got eaten up?
Well, after quite an eventful race, eventful for me, I ended up 6th again. Definitely not as good a 6th place as the last week's race. I was a long way behind the winners. In fact, I was a long way behind 5th place, I think. Yeah, I didn't have the greatest of races, to be honest. I think I went back to my old ways a little bit. Got an okay-ish start. I was on the front row, which was nice, but didn't really make the most of it. It wasn't an awful start, but got away in the top dozen. And in the section through the woods, it was just awful. It was like I'd never raced a cross race before. Made a bit of a few small cock-ups, and then just lost my rhythm and balance and everything. I ended up running wide on a corner out of a track, and I was just doing like an emergency bail out to get off the bike and run, and the bike sort of flicked up and cracked me right up the arsehole and sort of gave me a gentleman's area a good old whack as well, which was quite painful. Yeah, the rest of that section I was just losing places and nearly falling off at every corner. It was awful. So I apologise first of all to anyone who got stuck behind me or held up behind me on that lap, because yeah, I was crap. Anyway, so the next bit of lap was sort of open, and I opened in sort of grassy areas that was a little bit more my territory, but I was still losing a few places and battling with people sort of a bit lower down the field, and they're all snapping at my heels. And then the next lap through the woods I was a little bit better, but not great, and eventually by the 3rd lap I'd sorted myself out and decided I was going to run, which I should have done from the start. I was going to run the tricky bits, and I was way quicker. I was taking time out of the guys that I was racing with, so I just stuck to that and managed to get clear of everyone in that little group, and ended up riding a pretty lonely race for 6th place. Fitness was okay. Once I got my head around it, and handling was alright. Getting back on the bike and remounts I was quite handy with. Pedals were getting clogged up a bit because it was muddy. But yeah, it was the first. Well, Leeds was quite a muddy race, but this was really rather muddy. There's a lot of roots and trees and things through the woods. It's ever so narrow through there, and with my bloody great long legs, my knees were clouting the trees, and arms and things. I've got a few bangs on my arms as well. I think I'll take a chainsaw with me next year if it's the same course, and cut a few trees down. Yeah, I was a little bit, I think disappointed is the wrong word, but I was expecting a similar course to last year, and it wasn't really. Last year's course would have suited me to the ground, and I was hoping to be able to really get up with a challenge for the podium this week, but it was never going to happen on this course. So well done to Ryan, who won. I think it's his first win in the season. Should have won at Frylands really, but he had a big mechanical on the last lap and ended up just in the top 10, I think. But yeah, for me, the one little silver lining to the weekend is I actually ended up leading the league standings. Yeah, I would say off the bat that's pretty much by default, because I think out of the top guys I'm the only person that's done every round so far, and I only had a minor mechanical which cost me a couple of places. I think most of the other guys in one race have had at least one issue that's cost them several places, so I think it's top 7 or top 8 races that count, and I've got 5 in the bank already, so I know I'm going to slip down the standings. I've not even had a podium yet, so I know I'm not quite worthy of leading the standings, but hopefully I can get my head back to where it should be for the next race, and perhaps I can challenge for the league, but we'll see. Anyway, next week's race is at Herne Hill. I'm going to have this one off because I am getting a bit knackered now, so I'm going to take a week off, recharge, and I shall be back in a couple of weeks' time.